Bowl 54 as Super Bowl Today starts now. That's a live shot, and you get it here in Miami, Florida. It is Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus, from South Beach to Biscayne Bay to Ocean, downtown Fort Lauderdale. We have got this city covered, the greater Miami area, as we prepare for a contest between the Kansas City Chiefs and San Francisco 49ers to determine the winner of Super Bowl 54 with four-time Pro Bowler and out in Los Angeles, a Hesperian Scorp. And, of course, a UW Husky. It is Marcel Reese. It's going to be, along with me, Matt Money Smith, for the next 90 minutes as we get you every bit of coverage you could ever want, interviews with luminaries, and a whole lot of analysis as we prepare for this Sunday contest. Marcel, you've been to a number of Super Bowls. Super Bowl Wednesday, what's on the schedule for today for players?
Unfortunately, I've only been a spectator at the Super Bowls I've been to. But listen, it's early on in the week. You know, these guys are starting to build up the emotion, build up the passion for just getting ready for the Super Bowl, especially some of these young guys. So it's been interesting watching them go throughout the week, you know, especially the big personalities like the Frank Clarks, the George Kittles, and the Travis Kelce's, because they're having their build up. It's a lot in store for them. It's a media spectacle. Fans love it. It's a great time, great city hosting it. So certainly, I'm looking forward to seeing what's going on and what happens throughout the week. Yeah,
no doubt. And for the first time in 50 years, Chiefs fans get to descend upon a Super Bowl city as their team will be a participant. Speaking of those Chiefs, unlikely that they found their way here because they had to overcome a 24-point deficit. They started out the divisional round in a 24-0 hole against the Texans. Marcel, they did it again the following week, fell behind 10-0 to the Titans, something today Patrick Mahomes said they cannot afford to do in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, it's funny because the last 2 years that I've played, I feel like we've always got off to great starts and scored a lot of points. And with the last two games, we haven't been able to do that. And so for us, it's about just going in there with the right mindset, not trying to do too much, staying within the game plan, and just playing like we played the last three quarters of both the last two games. And if we do that and just execute it at a little bit higher level at the beginning of the game, we can hopefully not fall behind like we have the last 2 weeks.
Well, certainly, Pat Mahomes says what he would like to have happen. But, Marcel, how do they avoid? I mean, this is consecutive playoff games, 24-0, 10-0. What's the best approach for the Chiefs to try to avoid that happening again?
It's going to be the run game. Something Pat Mahomes did say was he wants to play the games like they played the last three quarters of the past few games. But to that point, they're going to have to start with the run game because it takes time as an offense to get that rhythm to be able to pass the ball as efficiently and explosively as they've been doing it in the past three quarters of these last two games. So the run game is going to be extremely special and important for them. Damian Williams has to get to a great start. Andy Reid's going to have to be creative to get these guys involved in the run game and get the run game going. Because listen, the team that they're playing, if they get up on them the way their run game is going, it's going to be a little harder to catch up. Not saying their offense can't do it, but I am saying is that when San Francisco 49ers are running the game as efficiently as they're doing it, it takes possessions away from Mahomes and that explosive offense.
So I'll start with the first follow-up, and that is, you know, we often hear that plays are scripted to start a game, whether it's 10 play, 20 plays, script. Would that be the case in the Super Bowl? And maybe what is Andy Reid doing, considering what he has available to him on that script?
There's so many explosive playmakers available for Andy Reid, and I think the key is going to be him being extremely creative in how he gets his playmakers the ball. You know, almost sneaking in things like a Tyreek Hill run early on in the game. He does those things in the red zone. It's not going to be different for them, but it will be different to where it takes place on the field and in the process of the game. So I think he's going to have to be creative in getting these guys involved, getting the balls in the hands of their playmakers early on in the game in different ways. You know, sneak in one of those fly sweeps to Tyreek Hill early on in the game instead of waiting till the red zone. Maybe a shovel pass to Travis Kelce early on in the game in the minus territory instead of the plus territory, meaning you're not waiting till you get in the red zone to score a touchdown, but just doing it to get the ball in the hands in the flow of the game.
So you're saying run game doesn't necessarily mean feeding Damian Williams. You can affect the run game with Tyreek Hill, with Travis Kelce. but try to get that rhythm going.
Absolutely. You're trying to get the rhythm going. You're trying to get everyone in a rhythm. It's not changing the makeup of your offense and getting in this pro-style offense where you have, Sherman in the backfield as a fullback and you have Damian Williams and he's getting the ball 30 times. Right. That's not you. That's not your guy. You stay true to your character. You stay true to the makeup as an offense, but yet you be more creative in doing it early on where you're getting Tyreek Hill involved, you're getting Nico Hardman involved, you're getting Travis Kelce involved in different ways. Just simply getting it to him.
Maybe what you're saying, we always talk about doubles instead of home runs. Hey, why not a single and a sacrifice bunt?
Absolutely.
Even that works to use baseball.
Let's just get on base.
There we go. And what we have going over the course of this show is a stacked list of guests. You see Alvin Kamara, Reggie Wayne. We're going to get into a Hall of Fame conversation surrounding Reggie. Aaron Donald, arguably the most dominant defensive player in all the land, will join us as well. You see Lawrence Taylor there. And by the way, the one on the bottom, why don't we get to it right away? How about Dak Prescott joining our Kurt Warner and James Jones?
All right, thanks, guys. Dak, I just want to go back to this season first. You made some huge strides this year, had an unbelievable year. Just tell me about your growth. Kellen Moore stepping in as the offensive coordinator. What changed this year to allow you to have so much success?
Yeah, definitely just going into year 4, the experience, I progressed in every aspect of my game, whether it's the accuracy, the consistency, whether it was seeing the defense or preparation throughout the week. I took a next step individually, and as you said, with the hire of Kellen Moore, of him coming on, what he added to the play call and the right timing. He's a genius. He's got a bright future. I'm excited to still have him as a coach. Looking forward to what my future is and our team.
Speaking of a new coach, you got Coach Mike McCarthy, who I played with for 8 years. Paid a lot of bills in his offense. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's a very good offense that I played in. What's your first impressions of Coach Mike?
He's got a Super Bowl. Anytime you come into a locker room and you've got that, guys are going to follow. Obviously, that's the goal, and that's what we want to get to. That's the Cowboys' goal each and every year, is to get to the Super Bowl and to win it. And we've got a guy that has that and that knows how to get there, and excited to follow him.
How excited were you that you heard Kellen Moore was going to be able to stay and be the offensive coordinator and calling the plays?
Yeah, so excited. As I just mentioned the success that we had this year, it didn't turn out to wins necessarily and correlate the way we wanted to, but there's a lot of great positive things to look forward to as we get going, as we keep moving forward, and the fact that they're able to keep him and we can grow off of what we did last year, running it, passing it, complimenting off each other. It's going to be exciting.
All right, talk to us. Oikos, 000. Talk to us about it.
Yeah, I've been a partner with Oikos 000 since 2017, and when you get to come to Miami and promote the brand and share something that's been working for me, it's always great. I'm not a big breakfast person, but in the morning, Oikos does it for me. It's something light, but still has the protein, gives me everything I need, and it fuels my day, fuels my hustle.
Yeah, if it makes us look like that, we all got to have a little bit.
Trust me, I see it.
So we talked a little bit about Coach McCarthy, and I know right now you're a Dallas Cowboy, but in March you become a free agent if nothing takes shape. I'm just curious, as you head towards that process, what do you put value on being a quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys? Coaching staff and making sure you're comfortable with the system. Obviously, paying the bills. We talk about paying the bills. We know money becomes a factor when you have a chance to be a free agent. Talk me through that process a little bit.
Yeah, that's a loaded question. There's a lot of things that go into that.
A lot of things.
Hey, it's one thing. Pay me my money. Tell them.
But when you're the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you don't give much thought about being a quarterback of another team. So that's my focus. I've got a lot of confidence in something, a lot of confidence in something will get done here soon.
Yeah, and I got to ask you just about, not analyzing the Super Bowl yet, but who you want to win the Super Bowl? Because I think we all have like a hierarchy, right? Like we never want anybody in our division to win it. And then in our conference, do we really want somebody? Do you want somebody on the AFC side, or is it somebody that you played against? Do you have buddies on a certain team? Do you have a team that you'd like to see win the Super Bowl?
I don't. I know guys on both teams. There's not necessarily one team that means more.
If it's not the Dallas Cowboys, we don't want anybody to ever win it, do we?
Exactly. Yeah,
I hear you.
I'm selfish when it comes to that.
I just never wanted anybody in the NFC to win it. I'm like, forget the guys that I play against.
Right.
If it's anybody, let it be somebody on the other side.
Like you ain't seen these teams this season, but we watched them. We seen the Niners defense very dominant. You also got Patrick Mahomes in that offense, dominant. Who do you think going into Sunday's game has the advantage?
People talk about the Niners' defense and that pass rush, and I think anytime as a quarterback, as we know, when you can get home with those front four, you've got a chance. So defense wins championships, right? So I'm gonna go there. I'm gonna go.
What?
Trust me.
Stop the pressure.
All the offense up here. He's on defense wins championships. All right. That's all good.
The Niners ran the ball 8 times.
Oh,
I mean, threw the ball 8 times
All right,
last
don't
game.
remind us,
I mean,
don't remind us.
trust me, as a quarterback, I want to throw the ball. I want to score all the points, but
Exactly.
we know what wins it.
So
I'm going to go there.
So as a quarterback, when you know you got a front four like the San Francisco 49ers, what's your mindset going into the game?
Yeah, get the ball out. Get the ball out and make those guys get frustrated. They're trying to get back there. When they get back there, the ball's gone. Now they got to go chase that back or that receiver down. They get frustrated. At that point, we get to do what we want. We get to run the ball. We get to dictate it.
What do you do on Super Bowl Sunday? I remember when I was playing, I went to one Super Bowl and watched from the stands, and I was the most miserable human being that my wife had ever seen. And so I vowed I would never go to another one when I was playing. Do you go? Do you enjoy it? Do you sit at home and watch it? Do you not even watch it because you're not in? What do you do on Super Bowl Sunday?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely won't go. I went last year. I probably was like you, very miserable. I didn't enjoy it at all. This year, I'll be at home by that time, and I don't know if it'll be on. I'm sure by the time the halftime show, Shakira and J-Lo comes on, I'll be focused. But the game, I don't care too much about it.
Okay, well, so you give us a prediction. We're analysts. We have to do this. We have to pick a team to win. Can you give us one before you go?
I'm going to go Niners.
Niners.
Yeah, Niners. I can't give a score. I think it'll be a great game. I'm excited for it.
All right, there you hear it. All from Dak Prescott. We appreciate you being here with us, man.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, there we go. We appreciate Kurt and the polo and James. Well, in whatever you would like to call that. I guess I don't know if it's a vest, if it's a suit that got the sleeves taken off of, but our James Jones certainly. There we go.
I don't know, JJ. You know, so we got to get on the horn and figure out what is going on. I know he's in Miami, but he's a Cali boy at heart, so we got to figure out exactly what James is wearing and what the mindset was when he went into that.
Very San Jose State Spartan-like gear.
Very
I think,
like very Chip and Dale's.
Like there you go.
Magic Mike's
there you go.
Type
Get
of
that
gear
going down in Miami. Well, let's. Dak did not want to answer it. Kurt tried, and we applaud him for that about his future.
Right.
What do you think lies ahead for Dak and the Cowboys, and what this negotiation might look like?
So here's the thing. I'm listening to Dak speak, and the most important thing I heard was, when you are the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys, you do not think about being the quarterback of another team. And that, to me, tells me that he wants to continue playing for the Dallas Cowboys. And the motivation is not just the money. Obviously, it plays a huge part. You want to make sure you're set up for life. And I think he will be. Jerry Jones is going to find a way to pay this man and probably overpay him. And, rightfully so. We want all – listen, as a player, I want all the players to get everything they can possibly get while they're playing. So I don't think Dak is in another uniform probably for the rest of his career.
I guess I look at it more from the business side of things, and that's if you have an asset that you don't want to lose, you want to tie it up immediately.
Absolutely.
And they had an opportunity to do that, and it's only going to cost you more money. So why do you let that linger? Maybe because you don't buy in, and that's what we saw in Washington with Kirk Cousins. They just didn't want to believe it. They franchised him. He comes back. He does it again. They still don't want to believe it and franchise him again. So I think there's a real possibility that franchise tag, right around $27 million, could be in play for Dak, as they got to pay other guys. They just paid Lawrence. They paid Zeke. Now they got to pay Amari Cooper.
Absolutely.
That could be in play.
That is a great point, Money. I speak from a player's standpoint, but from a business standpoint and a team standpoint, you're absolutely right. Why didn't you do it last year? Before he had the great start to a season, he was obviously going to be cheaper. So, that brings up a good point. Is Dallas all in on Dak? Obviously, Jerry says all the right things throughout the season. He wants his quarterback to have confidence, play well, and do all those things and have a great rapport with his team. So that's a good point that you make up.
The only way you don't pay him more money is if he doesn't play as well. And if he doesn't play as well, then clearly you're not buying in. So that's why you franchise him. It'll be an interesting offseason for certain, with Amari Cooper, with Dak Prescott, all heading into free agency for the Cowboys. Still to come on Super Bowl today, presented by Lexus. Alvin Kamara and Stephon Diggs will join the show next. Welcome back to Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus. Oh, there it is. Ahoy, Malloy, the Flying Wasp. Boat party in South Bay. All right, let's get to MJ Acosta, who's with Alvin Kamara.
Alvin Kamara stopping by. We were just talking about how you're pretty much still recovering from the entire season. You just played on Sunday, fresh off the Pro Bowl. And now here in Miami, you know, I love that one of your college teammates, Emmanuel Mosley, is playing in the Super Bowl. How excited are you for him?
Man, I'm excited. You know, I mean, Emanuel, he's been playing great this season, you know, and to be in the Super Bowl, I mean, that's amazing. I'm proud of him, happy for him, you know. Hopefully he can get the win.
Right. Yeah. It's one of those things where, you know, especially with this Niners team, guys like Emmanuel Mosley have gotten a chance to really showcase what they have in their talent in a way that maybe they wouldn't have before. Yeah,
I mean, he got an opportunity and he's responded, you know, in every situation. You know, he's been able to showcase his skills, and you know, it's not that he didn't have them. I mean, it's just an opportunity presented itself, and he took advantage.
Now, talking about skills, you've averaged about, you know, a modest 1,500 yards from scrimmage every single one of the last seasons. I mean, it's just the way that you have literally hit the ground running, no pun intended there. How do you train yourself and just get ready to every year kind of one-up what you've done this season?
Man, just train harder every year. I mean, find out what my weaknesses were from the season before and, you know, move forward. You can always get better at something. So, you know, I'm not really looking at the stats and things like that. I'm just looking at how I can be a better me, how I can, you know, one-up myself, how I can find another way to, you know, do something that I was doing last year better in the next year. Like, it's an ever-going process.
Yeah.
Like,
we'll look at the stats for you. Don't worry. That's our job. Talk to me a little bit about the Pro Bowl. I mean, Drew Brees was there. How great of an experience?
Man, everybody's there. You know, I'm blessed to be in my third one.
Yeah.
You know, so 3 in 3 years is amazing. You know, just being there with guys, Drew Brees, Russell Wilson's, the Von Millers, you know, everybody's there. Earl Thomas's, everybody.
Right.
Like, you know, it's just fun to be with those guys, compete, and just, you know, just get a little glimpse into, like, you know, how guys compete and how guys, like, you know, interact and things like that, you know, because I'm in New Orleans all year until then. So, you know, different helmets, different teams, different chemistry.
And not to put you back into work mode, because it is your off season after all. You're trying to get your life back together. What is it that you set, or when do you start retraining again for the season ahead and thinking of those goals that you're setting for yourself?
Man, I never really set, like, individual, like, specific goals. You know, I just make sure to, you know, I know how my body feels and I know what I need, like, from the season before and going into the next season. So, you know, I make sure to hone in on those, and, you know, hopefully with all that being done, with all that foundation and work being laid, and then going into that next season, I'll be able to, you know, surpass what I did in the past season.
A topic you're familiar with here. What do you think of this Niners defense and the way that they've come out and what they'll present for the Chiefs?
Man, their defense, I've been talking about it all day. Just high power, high motor, you know, solid up front. I mean, talented, very talented up front. They play together in the back end. And, I mean, their linebacker play is great, too. I mean, you know, they got guys all across the board that make plays for them, and they play together. That's one thing as a defense. You know, if all else fails, if you play together, I mean, you're going to have success. It's
that cohesive, you know, defensive coordinator Robert Saleh said the other day, their sort of goal there is to bring it at you in waves. So, like, they'll rest some guys, and then another group comes down and gets you.
They do a good job of that. Like I said, they play together. They know what they're trying to do.
Do you have any predictions, or what is it? Something you're hoping happens in the Super Bowl?
I don't know if I was hoping we were in it, you know, but I don't think it's anything I'm hoping for. I mean, I think it's gonna be a really good game. I think it's gonna be a good game.
Now I'm walking around here, and I was like, hold up, is there a horse on Radio Row? And then it made sense because it was the Old Spice horse. So tell me about the new Old Spice Ultra Smooth.
Man, so we got Old Spice Ultra Smooth just dropped. You know, it's just a clean, fresh scent. You know, it's low key. I think I would like to think of myself as low key. So, I mean, I like it. It smells great. You know, it's dermatologist tested. So, you know, if you got anything you try to stay away from for your skin, I mean, it's fine to use for your skin. Yeah.
As someone who spends a lot of time in the locker room, y'all gotta smell good.
Exactly. So I'm smelling good, feeling good.
I love it. Got such an important message. Please, can't say it enough. Make sure you smell good out in these streets. Especially in Miami. It's a lot out here.
There's a lot going on, so get right.
Alvin, thank you so much for your time. We appreciate you. We'll see you soon, I'm sure.
You.
All right, that brings us to Arriving in Style, presented by Genesis with Marcel Reese. Knows a little bit something about running the ball. Alvin Kamara certainly did. The Saints gave it their best effort against the Niners this season, a 48-46 loss in the Superdome. But what about the running attack of each of these teams, and maybe which team has the advantage, or what stands out to you with these running games?
They both run the ball, obviously, in different ways. Patrick Mahomes does a lot of the running for Kansas City. But what's important to note is this San Francisco running attack is unbelievable. They do a great job. I give a lot of credit to run game coordinator and offensive line coach Mike McDaniels. The way they do it, they have a three-headed monster in Matt Breida. You have Raheem Mostert, who had the huge game 2 weeks ago.
Just 4 touchdowns.
Exactly. And also you have Coleman, who has been questionable, and they're hoping is going to be available for them on Sunday. But they do an awesome job of the way they design their runs specifically for the runner who is in the game. They found something, I know, to the Green Bay game that they could exploit. Here it is here. When you see they're running unlikely runs at unlikely times. You know, they had the big 3rd and 8 run where they call it a run on 3rd and 8 in the high red zone. And they're running a trap block on a 7 technique, which means he's way outside, and they're leaving the widest man unblocked to the play side, which is unusual, especially on 3rd down when you know you're going to have rush ends, but it's successful for him. So it's really cool to see the way they're designing their runs and the way they're calling the runs. The combination of Mike McDaniels and Kyle Shanahan, they do an unbelievable job of running that offense, designing that offense, and also calling that offense. So hats off to them, the way they've been doing it, because it's not just one guy. It's been a three-headed monster for them all year. They even sprinkle in Debo in there as a receiver and let him run the ball as well.
And it's interesting, you hear it with the quarterback position. They say if you got more than one, you don't have one. But that's not necessarily the case with running backs anymore. You don't have to have that bell cow. The rotation has certainly worked for them all season.
And having a bell cow is great. But when you can keep guys fresh and you can rotate them in, you can give a defense different looks, especially when you have really dynamic defenses like their own defense in the San Francisco 49ers. You know, they went against them all training camp, all offseason. So they have to give them different looks because you go against these elite defenders, you know, such as Bobby Wagner's, you know, extremely smart, you know, the recently retired Luke Kuechly and guys like that, you know, and even Tyrann Mathieu, who they're going against this week in the Super Bowl, they start keying on things. But when you give them different looks, it gives them more things to look at. It gives them more a different guy, different runners to really focus on. So they're going to have a tough time, you know, because, you know, Kansas City, they keyed in on Derrick Henry last week. You know, they had one runner, they had one bell cow, they ran the ball one type of way, you know. And this week, there's going to be a little different for them because now you have 3, 4 different runners. You have 3, 4 different types of run, whether it's zone scheme, gap scheme, and they're going to have to do different things when they get different looks.
And just quickly, you mentioned it a little bit earlier at the top of the show about that Kansas City run game and how it doesn't necessarily have to be a fullback pro set, but you can get Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce. But we've seen Damian Williams have big games and have success, and maybe they say the best way to neutralize a pass rush is to run right at it. So what about what Kansas City has and what Damian Williams brings?
We see Shady McCoy here. We see Shady McCoy. He hasn't been active, you know, for a few weeks. Hopefully Andy Reid is hiding him and saving him and hoping he's fresh for the Super Bowl. Exactly, fresh legs. Because, listen, Shady McCoy can still go, and he's one of those guys that gives you that shakeup where you just absolutely can't just do one thing to him. You know, and Damian Williams has had big games, and Patrick Mahomes has been involved heavily, especially in the playoffs. He's their leading rusher in making and having big runs. But like you said, they're going to have to be creative in their run game. They're going to have to get Nico Hardman involved. You know, he's shown he can run the ball. Tyreek Hill obviously can do anything on the field offensively. He's ran the ball well. They can motion him out. And listen, screen pass can count as runs as well, you know, because it gives the defense that type of run feel. And they do a lot of screen passes with Travis Kelce at the line of scrimmage. They do screen passes with Tyreek Hill at the line of scrimmage. So things like that can play a big role in your rushing attack.
Jet sweeps, shovel passes.
Absolutely, jet sweeps, shovel passes. You know, reverses. They're tossing them. So there's different ways that you can have a run game that don't necessarily show up as rushing yards because there may be forward passes or touch passes or things like that.
Well, that is Arriving in Style, presented by Genesis. And we get back out to our MJ Acosta, who is with Stefon Diggs.
Never for a dull moment from Radio Row here in Miami at the Miami Beach Convention Center. Stephon Diggs in the house with us this morning, afternoon. We were trying to figure out what time exactly it was. What is it about just showing up in Miami? You see guys from all over the league that you probably don't usually get to see. How cool is it for you guys?
It's always a moment, you know. It's like going on my 6th year now, so I've spent some time with some guys. I know everybody for the most part, and it's more fun for me to see the new guys in the league, especially the guys who are playing well, exciting, and kind of see them interact and see how they are as people, you know, because at the end of the day, we're all people.
We have a lot of young guys, too, playing in this Super Bowl on both sides. Chiefs and the Niners have such a young contingent, and you can just feel that energy from them. What would be your advice to them as they get ready for the biggest game of their lives?
Probably just stay in the moment, really, just because, you know, it is, you got to keep it in perspective to say it's another game because you don't want to get too high, get too low, or peak too soon. So especially being young, you're going to be excited, but they don't know how much of a blessing it is to play for a Super Bowl. So hopefully with time they can go plenty of times, but I'm trying to get one too. So we'll see.
Now, you mentioned something that I want to touch on. We're just people at the end of the day, and every time I've seen you from the sidelines, you're always interacting with fans before a game. Why is that human connection so important to you?
Just to remind people that we are human. You know, at the end of the day, I just play a sport, you know, exceptionally well, and I want them to feel a part of it because they support me, they support the organization that I'm a part of, and I just want them to feel as close as they can to, and to have something to attach it to, like playing with kids and kind of giving them that hope that they could be just like a football player. They can play football one day and kind of like have that dream.
The relationships within even just your squad, the way that you guys build together, how does that really culminate in a locker room?
That's where it's built at. You have a lot of conversations in the locker room. I can't really talk too much about it, right? Yeah, it's a lot of real conversations, and you kind of get to know people, how they think, where their mind is, where they are in their life, and you kind of like get to say like, damn, this guy goes through a lot, but he goes out there and still plays his butt off. So to really just get to know people on that level kind of like brings the team together.
Your team really just made such a tremendous push this season, especially going into the post. What was that message down the stretch, especially in those final games, to really rally everybody together?
Just that we had an opportunity. We had Dalvin Cook banged up, so we didn't play our best ball towards the end, but to have that mentality that we're going in with a mindset, we kind of went in as the underdog. Everybody counted us out, and that's a great place to be in my opinion, just because nobody thinks you can win anyway. So go show them different, you know, just show them that you actually belong and you could play some good football. So for us, just kind of like wanting to execute, wanting to prove people wrong, and embracing that underdog role.
What's something you do in the off season that is not like so far-fetched, or is there anything like that people might not expect?
I like to travel. I'm a huge foodie, so I like to travel as well.
Food.
Yeah, I'm
here for that.
I love food. I went to Tokyo last year.
Wow.
I was in Japan. I went to Kyoto, if I'm saying it right. I had a lot of fun embracing different cultures and getting to know people and kind of hearing their point of view and their perspective on life. I kind of enjoy that.
It's really getting the stamps on the passport.
There we go.
And taking it in. So tell me what you're doing with Genesis.
Oh. I'm here on behalf of Genesis. That's why we're hanging out. The official luxury car of the NFL. Right now, I'm actually drove around in the G90.
Oh,
it's a nice car. It's my first time being chauffeured, so I feel kind of important maybe a little bit. Just kidding, but it's fun. And then tonight we have an unveiling of the SUV. I can let you know now. So it's going to be a huge event tonight. I'm excited, and I look forward to it.
That's pretty dope. Wait, is it weird to get chauffeured, do you feel?
Yeah, that's so weird. I want to drive it myself, or just get in the passenger seat, or get in the passenger like a normal person.
Right.
So
Change the radio station.
I'm getting adjusted. Yeah, I'm getting adjusted.
Stephon, thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. I'm sure we'll see you around.
Thanks. I appreciate you.
And some sad news coming out of the Vikings organization after a courageous and lengthy battle with cancer. Chris Dolman has passed away at the age of 58. Terrell Suggs, of course, part of the Chiefs team, saying that that was his motivation, that was his idol growing up, and why he wanted to wear the number 56. Pee Wee football wore 56, and Dolman was his guy. So a huge loss for the NFL community and the Vikings organization with the passing of Chris Dolman. And here you see the tweet from the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Dolman, a Hall of Famer, legacy will live forever in Canton, Ohio, for generations to learn from how he lived a life of courage and character.
modern era Centennial class hopefuls. These players have toughness, these players have speed, and these players have grace.
Warner, back to throw, under pressure, throws the end zone, touchdown Rams, Torrey Holt, caught by Isaac Bruce, and they won't catch him today. Touchdown Rams! The St. Louis Rams are the world champions.
He's got it. Good blocking, goes to the end zone, touchdown. Manning under center, Reggie Wayne in the slot. Yes, yes! Wow. Reggie Wayne with a touchdown reception.
John Lynch, this guy hits as well as any linebacker.
When we have a tight shot, you see a blur go through the picture. That's John Lynch.
Polamalu with the interception. Troy Polamalu has done it again. Who else but Polamalu?
As we welcome you back to Super Bowl today, presented by Lexus. About 80 hours from now, we will find out what the 2020 Hall of Fame class will be. You see the modern era finalists here on the front page. Isaac Bruce, Torrey Holt, pair of Rams wide receivers, along with Reggie Wayne up for his first year, and Troy Polamalu, first year as well. We'll get into our Hall of Fame conversation in a minute, but right now, Reggie Wayne standing by with our MJ Acosta.
My boy, Reggie Wayne, gracing us with his presence today.
I am here.
Reggie, I know you're busy because you live down here.
Yes.
So I'm sure you're getting twice as many, if not 10 times as many text messages as I am today.
I'm getting all the text messages. All of a sudden, I've been honorary tour guide. I'm everything. You know, it's Miami, and it's okay. It's a great place to be. It's the palm trees, great weather, like you said. It's awesome. It's always awesome for the Super Bowl.
You know, Reggie, a year ago, you and I were sitting in the rain, not great weather, at the Pro Bowl, interviewing Patrick Mahomes. Yeah. And now we're getting ready to see Patrick Mahomes play in the Super Bowl.
Just like yesterday, right?
It felt like it was 5 seconds ago.
Just like yesterday. But you know what? Just watching him in the Pro Bowl and as last season progressed, you've seen the maturity level just going up and up and up. So it's no surprise that he's here today.
Absolutely.
It really isn't.
You remember what he said to us that day. He's like, it's Super Bowl or nothing.
Exactly.
So
and he's here.
he was a man of, even through the injury this season.
Yes.
Just the storylines, I think, on both sides, both for the 49ers and for the Chiefs, really has culminated in this sort of build-up for this game.
You know what? I don't think we could have asked for a better matchup. This is the ideal matchup. This is going to be an exciting Super Bowl, great defense, great offense. You know, teams that really hung in there all year and found a way to get there. I mean, what can you ask for better than these two teams?
It's going to be electric, if nothing else.
It will be exciting.
Quarterbacks, a defense on the San Francisco side that's out of control. All right, but enough about the game, because I want to know how you're feeling this week. I mean, we're days away from what I think will be a legendary and historic door knock for you. How are your nerves? Like, what goes through your mind at this point as you wait to hear if you made it into the Hall?
Right now, I'm okay, but I know, I think the closer we get to it, the butterflies will start to build up a little bit, but I'm just enjoying myself. I'm enjoying the wave. I'm enjoying going around. You know, as a kid, I didn't say I wanted to be a Hall of Famer. I just wanted to be a NFL player.
Right.
You know, and as my career progressed, you know, you hear people, you know, talking to me about, you know, my contribution to the NFL and things that I did, and all the accolades and stuff that I was able to achieve, and they said, man, you know what, your career may be Hall of Fame worthy. And then all of a sudden you sit back and you think about it like, oh, maybe. And then all of a sudden I'm eligible for the Hall of Fame. And I'm like, cool. Yeah, cool. I'm eligible. All right. Then all of a sudden, hey, Reggie, you made it to the semifinals. Oh, okay. It's 25 people in the semifinals. Hey, Reggie, you're a finalist. I'm like, oh, whoa. Wait a minute.
Now it got real.
Yeah, now it's real. And I tell you what, man, I'm humbled. I'm just enjoying everything about it. You know, I was at the Hall of Fame last year. A good friend of mine, Ed Reed, went in, so I saw him going through the whole process, and now it seems like he's you know, behind me now. He's pushing me towards, you know.
What has he told you this week?
He just said, man, you know what? Enjoy every bit of it. He was victorious in the Super Bowl, and he said, man, this is up there with a Super Bowl. So I'm enjoying it, man. Whatever happens. But until then, I hope I get that knock on the door. But until then, man, I'm keeping a smile on my face.
Yes, I mean, there's so much to smile about. We were chatting about this not too long ago, how doubly special it would be for you to get announced here in Miami, where you live, where you played in college. I mean, I'm sure all of these things have gone through your head.
And I can add on to that. You mentioned playing college football here, live here.
the last 2 Super Bowls here in Miami, I played in. You know what I mean? So it's all coming around. It's starting to make sense. It's starting to make sense.
Storm.
Yeah, it is. So we'll see, man. Then I got a good friend of mine, the former teammate Edgerrin James, who also played with me in college. He's up for. I mean, it's awesome. It really is.
Is there a Hall of Fame finalist group chat? Because I would love to just peek into that group chat.
You know, it actually isn't.
Oh,
it actually isn't a group chat. It's more of a face-to-face thing, you know. But we might start something. That might be a good idea.
I'm telling you, get it in there per MJ's recommendation.
Oh,
All right, so tell me what you're doing with the NFL Extra Points credit card.
So this Extra Points credit card is a credit card that's available for all teams. Whatever your favorite team is, you're eligible to get that type of card, right? This card is for the ideal ultimate fan.
Wow.
And when I say ultimate fan, I'm sitting here saying a fan that really loves football, because with every dollar that you spend for this card, you gain points.
I'm here for the points.
And those points, let me tell you about these points. Those points, you're able to get things like game tickets, VIP passes, Super Bowl tickets. So if you're a Patrick Mahomes fan, picture yourself on the sideline of the Super Bowl. Maybe Patrick Mahomes come give you a high five, autograph something for you, and all the other teammates come around. So it's something that, as they always say, the Hall of Fame jacket is something that money can't buy. This is something that money cannot buy, and I think if you really are an ultimate fan, this is something you need to take advantage of.
That's dope. Just make the best of your fandom and make it work.
Make the best of it, and if you are interested in it, you just go to NFL. Just go to NFL. I'm sure
there it goes.
NFL extrapoint.com.
That's a pro move right there. He doesn't even need cards. He's got it on his shirt.
On my shirt, and we'll lock you in, and you get locked into it.
Reggie, thank you so much. Because we're that live.
Yeah,
that's what it is. We're that hype.
I'm here.
I'm so excited for you. I can't wait to see what happens. I will be. I'm I feel, and I know it's not me, obviously, but you're my bro. So
we're going to have a celebration regardless, but if we get in, can you say movie? It's going to be epic.
Movie. You got to say like Cal says, a movie. Thank you, Reg. So excited for you.
Appreciate it. Thanks.
Well, that was entertaining. Marcel, that's
fun.
I'll tell you, one thing I've never understood is, and granted, as someone who has to do the dance in the world of sports talk radio every single day for 4 hours, I get you have to create topics. Right. I've never understood the vehement anti-Hall of Fame campaigners. That's not a Hall of Famer, and I'm going to tell you what.
Right.
Let them all, I understand it's got to be exclusive, and Deanna would get upset if I said this, but celebrate these guys. Reggie Wayne's going to be celebrated. Do you think he gets into the Hall of Fame this year?
I think you have a point. He is going to be celebrated. I don't necessarily think he's going to get in this year. It's hard to be a first ballot wide receiver that gets into the Hall of Fame. I do think he gets in at some point, but this class is a tough class to break. I mean, you're looking at Richard Seymour, you're looking at Troy Polamalu, you're looking at Steve Hutchinson, and Richard Seymour and Steve Hutchinson are on their second term. You have Steve Atwater. There's a lot of guys.
John Lynch, Zach Thomas.
These are all great guys who are, on their second, third, Isaac Bruce
and Torrey Holt. Sixth year.
Exactly.
On the ballot. And they've had to wait in line for some guys in front of them.
It's going to be tough, but let me say this. I should have said this, start off with this. Congrats to all those guys to making it to a finalist and being considered and being celebrated. As players, we all aspire to be on one of those lists. So congratulations to him. Congratulations to Reggie specifically.
I mean, and we didn't mention Tony Baselli. You see him up there. And
exactly.
You're like,
Bryant Young.
Bryant Young.
These are all
sack leader in 49er history right now.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it's not easy.
It's not going to be easy for him, and I don't think he makes it on the first ballot.
Right. Which nothing to be ashamed of. I mean,
absolutely
in the last 30 years, you've got Randy Moss and Jerry Rice, the only two wide receivers to make it into the Hall of Fame on the first ballot.
It will be great company to be in, though.
I would say so. And certainly he is worthy, considering Super Bowl champion, the statistics that he was able to put up, and the longevity for Reggie Wayne there with the Indianapolis Colts. All right, that brings us to Premium Performances, presented by St. Archer Gold. And the question we ask, Marcel, is I don't know the best way to term it, but maybe a breakout performance or a high-impact player, a player that you could see being a difference maker at the wide receiver position.
Okay, so here's the deal, Money. This is what I'm looking at these two teams, and I see all these pass catchers. I see great players, and I think about it. And being an impact player on my teams that I've played on, you have Travis Kelce, you have George Kittle, and you have Tyreek Hill. 3 guys who are just going to flat out do their thing. They're going to get their numbers. They're going to get their attempts. The guy I'm looking for is Emmanuel Sanders. 49ers, John Lynch and the 49ers made this huge trade to get him on their team, and it paid off dividends for this offense and this team as a whole. This offense was not being explosive at all. They had a good run game, but they had nothing to complement this run game. They bring Emmanuel Sanders in there, and it opens everything up for them. Emmanuel Sanders is a wide receiver who can run every route in the route tree. And when he got to that team, it opened up everything for George Kittle, who is their #1 playmaker. It opened up things for the run game even more. Debo, the rookie receiver, Debo Samuels, he became one of the best rookie receivers in the league after Emmanuel Sanders joined that team, probably because of Emmanuel Sanders' experience, his mentorism that he's giving him. And I think if he has a big game, everything is going well for the 49ers, and they're going to win this game.
I'd love to give him the business. How about a 4-time Pro Bowl fullback not going with Kyle Juszczyk? Unbelievable, this guy.
Yes.
I should have taken him.
I
should have taken him
always give the fullback some
you.
love. Listen, Juszczyk is going to do his thing, and he's going to impact this game tremendously in so many different phases. He always does. I always give him his props. He's been, the second best fullback in all of football over the past decade.
I knew it was coming. He didn't have 4 Pro Bowls. He didn't have that yet. All right, how about Sammy Watkins? I'll lean on, you mentioned it, Travis Kelce, Tyreek Hill. Andy Reid's going to figure out a way to get them involved. But when you think about if there has been a struggle for the 49ers this season on defense, and there really has not, but they've been looking for that second corner. They have benched Ahkello Witherspoon twice now in games because he's been taken advantage of. We know, and it was made, it was kind of the headline going into the conference championship against Devontae Adams. Would Richard Sherman travel, or would he stay in his zone? And when you have this many weapons, and I can still think back to when Sammy Watkins entered the draft, and I still hear Dabo Swinney in my brain say, God was in a good mood the day he made Sammy Watkins. He is supremely talented. And when you got Pat Mahomes throwing the ball, I could see him on that opposite corner, maybe taking advantage of what is the only weakness on that San Francisco defense. And that, like you said, with Emmanuel Sanders, if he has a big day, that's good stuff for the 49ers. If Sammy Watkins has a big day, that
and he has this season, early on the season, absolutely.
Yeah. And that is Premium Performances presented by St. Archer Gold, the ultimate light beer with 95 calories and 2.6 grams of carbs per 12 ounces. When we return, actually, up next, I should say, as we see it, Jaylon Smith has been an inspiration to many since entering the NFL. The former can't-miss prospect overcame a devastating knee injury in his final college game to become one of the league's premier linebackers. As NFL media's Jim Trotter found out, Smith is now inspiring change for minorities, hoping to own their own businesses.
Great pursuit by Jaylon Smith. Big number 54. There's not many linebackers in this league that can run the way that Jaylon Smith can.
A game changer on the field, Cowboys linebacker Jaylon Smith is also seeking to change lives off of it through his Minority Entrepreneurship Institute showcase.
With this competition, ultimately, what do you hope to accomplish?
I'm creating a marketplace for minorities, black and brown, providing them with the financial funding, the mentorship, and the strategic planning.
As one of the nation's top college players, Smith planned to use the NFL as his platform for change. But on January 1st, 2016, that opportunity was nearly taken from him.
And I'm sure this is Jaylon Smith's worst nightmare.
You know, for me, about to be a top 5 pick, I was just like, why? Like, why now? It was tough because I was vulnerable, but it's a part of humanity, you know, so for me, I just had to embrace it.
Some questioned if Smith would ever play again because of nerve damage, but one team was willing to take a chance on him.
With the 34th pick in the 2016 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select.
Jaylon, this is Jerry Jones with the Dallas Cowboys.
How you doing, Jerry Jones?
Well, we're doing fine, and it's great to be talking to a Dallas Cowboy.
I appreciate you so much. Thank you, sir.
You got it.
All right now.
I tell you one thing, I worked, and I worked, and I worked. I didn't make no excuses. It was just about progressing each week to better myself up for the long run.
When you go through that year and you don't play and now you come into 17, is there a nervousness or an angst having been out so long?
I wasn't nervous. What I kept telling myself was just get aligned, do my job, and play fast.
Tell me the moment that you felt you were back to being an elite player.
Thanksgiving Day, it's 2017. More so than the actual plays I make, but just my movement and my instincts. That's when I knew, like, I still got it, here it come.
Smith's improvement would continue into 2018.
Jaylon Smith will score a Dallas Cowboy touchdown.
Last summer, his hard work on and off the field resulted in a degree from Notre Dame and a $64 million extension, of which $2.5 million will go towards his MEI showcase over the next decade.
So without further ado, our winner for this evening, hurry home.
This venture competition is something that will be global. Next year we'll go to Dallas. The year after, we'll choose a city. And it's about making that difference. It's about closing that educational and that economic gap. I just wanted to thank everyone for coming out. This is my true purpose beyond athletics, and I'm passionate about it. I don't want to be remembered as just a great athlete or just a great football player. I want to be so much more. This equality stuff matters. But you got to start somewhere.
Now, rarely do you get happy endings in a sport, but boy, there is one there with Jaylon Smith and the great work he is doing. You cannot be in Miami and not have a conversation with arguably its greatest athlete ever. Dan Marino will join us next on Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus. Well, back here on Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus. Many cite him as the greatest quarterback ever when it comes to just throwing the ball, and he is now catching up with another greatest of all time member in that conversation, Kurt Warner. and our MJ Acosta. Here they are with Dan Marino.
MJ Acosta alongside Kurt Warner, and pause for a moment.
Okay, I'm still kind of giddy.
Because Dan Marino is on. I mean, I'm all in my feelings, I have to say.
Come on, man.
I mean, this is such an incredible honor for you to join us today. As the Miami girl, I have to take a minute to just say this is.
Well, thank you.
Like one of those moments where it's like I was there in Miami with Dan Marino and Kurt Warner. Continue. I'm out of my feelings now. But what has it been like this week, just seeing everybody come through this city?
It's always, it's always fun when you have the Super Bowl in your city, South Florida. From Palm Beach to South Beach, we're going to have parties all around. There's all kind of events, all the things you could think of, concerts, whatever it may be, the parties for the game. And just to showcase, South Florida is awesome. And our new stadium's beautiful, so people are going to love that when they see it on TV, and the fans that are going there for the game. So it's exciting for me. It's cool because I get to work a little bit, see guys come on NFL Network, see Kurt, see some of the other players here at Media Day, and do some work for, like I'm doing work today for Isotoner gloves and also slip-ons, which is the slip-ons that are new for them. And I'm wearing some right now, but I can't show you. I can't get my leg up off the desk. But I'm so we're doing those kind of things, and it's been good.
How long have you been connected with Isotoner? It goes way back.
No, it goes way back. So the thing is, I did it, my second year, right? So it's been 25 years, and last year they wanted to redo the commercial, like a 25 anniversary.
Oh, that's
so we redid the commercial, and then also they did the slip-ons, for men and women. So we'll get you guys a pair, and it's pretty cool.
That's awesome, man. Every time
so it's fun. It's always what Media Day's about, man.
And it's cool that you have that relationship over so many years.
Yeah.
And every time you come down to the Super Bowl, it conjures up memories of when you played here. So take me back to when you played in the Super Bowl. What are the memories that come to mind?
So the crazy thing is, it's like it was a long time ago. And my memories were, I felt really good about the game. Like I felt really good about our chances, and maybe that was the problem. Maybe that was it. And then I also remember, like, after the game, it just seemed like that week flew by so quick. And it was like, after the game, it was like, can we do this again? Because we lost the game. I was like, can we play the game in a couple days? Can we try it again? Maybe the best out of 3, whatever. But the part is that's great about it is, at a young age, I had that experience. I wouldn't say great. I never had a chance to go back, right? So for the quarterbacks, the first time in there, you just got to look at it and say, hey, I got to take advantage of my opportunity, because you never know when you might not be back.
And it's amazing to me. I talk to so many players, and they come and they go, I'd rather not go to the Super Bowl than go to the Super Bowl and lose. And I just shake my head like, you are nuts. Everybody wants to play in the big game. I mean,
I agree. Look, that's what you're working for. Right. I mean, we're in the Super Bowl business, right? We're in the business to try to get to the Super Bowl and win. Yeah. So every chance you get, you're going to want to take that opportunity to do it. That's crazy. To me, so I only been to one, so I wanted to go back. Yeah. So even if we lost, okay, but at least you have a chance to win.
At least there's a chance.
You have a chance to win.
17 seasons that you played in the NFL, over 61,000 pass yards, but recently you said in today's game you could probably throw for 6,000.
So here's the best part, Kurt. Here's the best part, is I don't have to prove it.
Right.
So I can say whatever I want.
I believe you, though. That's the thing.
I do, too.
Right?
Just remember that release and that spiral that you just tell me, do you go out and sling it at all?
You know what? Sometimes, like when my sons that are older, like they're in their 20s and all that, so when they're around, and sometimes I'll do it. Yeah, a little bit. Sometimes at practice, when I go, Dolphin practice, sometimes I'll do that a little bit, summer camp. So I still like to throw it. I can't throw it nearly, not even close, but where I don't embarrass myself. I mean, I'm sure you can throw it around still, right?
I still do. And, every time I go to, a training camp practice, I want to go over and kind of nudge one of the coaches and goes, hey, can I get 10 7-on-7 plays? I just want to see if I can do it. So go over to Coach Flores and say, hey, Coach, can I get 10
or say maybe
7-on-7 plays?
Do it in OTAs or something.
Right, exactly.
Can y'all let me know when you do this? I want to be there.
That would be awesome.
But it doesn't mean anything. Yeah, so that would be fun. It would be fun.
Yeah, it would be
what do you see from these two young quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Jimmy G, two completely different situations with their offense?
Well, I see both quarterbacks deserving to be there because they're probably the main reason they're there. And you look at Garoppolo, and everybody's saying, well, he didn't throw it that much or whatever, but it's all about the quarterback. Is about getting your team to perform the way that they want to perform in the game plan and win that game. And he's been able to do that. And I think in this game, though, he's going to have to throw it more than 8 times, no doubt about it. But I think they want to run the ball. And then if that works, then maybe it's 20 times a game, whatever that is. Keep Mahomes on the sideline. And Mahomes got his arm talent, Kurt, is pretty special.
Unreal.
I mean,
it's
again,
pretty
it reminds
special.
me, you were transcended in your time in regards to what you did nobody else has ever done. Now, there's some other guys like Aaron Rodgers, but I'm wondering if this guy could end up being the most talented and most complete quarterback we've ever seen in this game.
So what you love about him is his just sense of knowing the timing, when to throw the ball. He's good in the pocket. He can throw different arm angles. He uses his body the right way, and he's smart when he runs.
Yes.
Right? He knows when to get down and get out of bounds.
Yeah, without question. I was talking to Jimmy earlier this week, and just kind of asking him, if the Super Bowl played out perfectly, what would it look like? And, of course, he's just like, just win, baby. But, come on, you know that Jimmy Garoppolo does not want to come into this game and throw it 8 times and win.
No.
You know that is not how he wants this to play out.
If you told him and said, can you throw it 30 times and lose or throw it 8 times and win, I'll bet you he says, I'll take the 8 times and win.
Any day.
Yeah, for sure.
We've all played that out.
Yeah.
Like, we've got
you're
this
quarterback. You want to throw it.
I want to throw for 300 yards, and I want to be the reason why my team wins the Super Bowl.
There's no doubt, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Absolutely
but you got to do
not.
whatever you have to do to win. That's the most important thing.
Yeah.
As you said, just win, baby. That's it. It's perfect.
That's it.
We're going to have hashtags going on. Dan, thank you so much
you
for
guys.
joining us. This is incredible.
Yes, Kurt. Good to see you, baby.
Get some slip-ons in.
All right, thank you. Thanks, son. Appreciate it.
Enjoy that conversation as we get to our bold predictions presented by Lexus. We'll do bold predictions looking at Super Bowl champ Kurt Warner, NFL MVP Dan Marino. How about bold predictions at the quarterback position for Super Bowl 54?
Okay.
You got one?
I got one for
All
you.
right.
I got one for you. I'm looking at Patrick Mahomes. I'm saying Patrick Mahomes, bold prediction, 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl.
You just said plus.
I just 2. Now,
Okay.
here's a nugget for you, though, Money. Patrick Mahomes has thrown 2+ interceptions in only 3 of 35 career games, including the playoffs. But that's why it's bold. That's what we're talking about. He's a phenomenal quarterback. He's going against a great defense. Bold prediction, 2 interceptions in the Super Bowl.
Maybe get back to this, by the way. You saw the Chargers there. Michael Davis and Rayshon Jenkins with a couple picks there. We'll get back to what Gus Bradley and that defense did. My bold prediction real quick. I believe in Kyle Shanahan. You alluded to the way they're able to scheme and call plays, and I think somehow they are going to have an opportunity against that secondary Kansas City to get some big plays. So I'm going Jimmy G throws 2 touchdowns over 25 yards. Deep shots that go for touchdowns, and that is bold because – well, the Chiefs have only allowed 3 touchdowns all season of 25 or more yards. But Jimmy, by the way, has had 2 games where he's thrown at least 2 touchdowns of at least 25 yards. So there you go. Bold predictions from Marcel, from me, and it is brought to you by and presented by Lexus. Still to come, Rams defensive lineman Aaron Donald. Could he win a 3rd consecutive Defensive Player of the Year? He will join our Andrew Siciliano next. Back here on Super Bowl today, presented by Lexus. We are just 4 days from kickoff in Super Bowl 54. You see Hard Rock Stadium there, downtown Miami, and our man, Andrew Siciliano, sitting with Aaron Donald.
Whatever it is you do, chances are Aaron Donald is better at his job than you are at yours. And he joins us live now from Miami with, safety goggles, an orange vest, and a backhoe. Dude, what are you doing, and is it safe?
Just here with Snickers, doing a great thing, was in the digging some holes, trying to have Snickers, fix the world. So had some fun, was actually in the machine, moving it around, working it, and had a lot of fun. It was a cool experience. So,
all right, so you were actually in the driver's seat of that thing, and you were digging holes against Marquise Brown? Is that what I'm told?
Yeah, we had some little competition, so it was fun. Was in there working it, learned how to move everything, how to actually dig the hole, dig the dirt, and we had some little competition stuff we did, so we had some fun with it.
Did you win, Aaron?
He won the first one, but I think I got the second one with hitting the ball, so.
All right, well, you know what? You'd probably win tackling him as well, although he's pretty fast. Talking to Aaron Donald here, live in Miami. Aaron, we're going to take a turn here, and not to be overly serious, but I know you have trained at the Mamba Academy here in Los Angeles. I'd be remiss if I didn't ask you. What did Kobe Bryant mean to you, as we see on the screen here, you flexing as you so often do, at the place that Kobe built?
Well, he's a legend. He's a guy as a kid you watch, even though you play football and he played basketball, as a guy that you watch from afar. The things he was able to do for the game and the things he did was just amazing. So just being a fan as a kid, growing up as an adult, watching from afar, to hear what happened to the families and it was tragic. So, prayers go out to the families that was involved. So it just hurts.
Aaron, it amazes me. Actually, it doesn't amaze me. I take that back. It makes me happy, actually, how many younger people, your generation, NFL players, saw him as an inspiration. What's amazing to me is how many of his peers, people his age, people older, saw him as an inspiration. How did he inspire you?
Well, we all play the game, no matter what the sport is, to be great, to be the best to ever do it. And he was a guy that did that. So off rip, you're going to just gravitate to that, to just try to, create your own legacy, to try to build your own success and have greatness. So, you try to aspire to be great. And he's a guy that, is the front runner for that. So, when you hear something like that, it don't seem like it's real, So, like I said, man, my prayers just go out to the families that was involved, man, because it really hurts.
I agree with you. Let's move on to some football here. Aaron Donald joining us live here in Miami. The Rams were in this game last year. Wade Phillips had an amazing game plan. Obviously, we all know what happened there at the end. The Patriots won the game. Aaron, as I walk around L.A., I get a lot of people asking me, what happened and why have the Rams moved on? I know it's not your decision. It's above your pay grade. But what should I tell those people when they ask?
About Wade?
About Wade.
Oh, I can't tell you. That's I don't know. I guess it was a decision they made as an organization from the business side. So, I love playing for Wade. I love the things I got the opportunity to learn from him. The opportunities he gave me. Had a lot of success with Wade, so I'm definitely gonna miss him a whole lot. But the one thing about this, it's a part of the business. It sucked, but it happens. So.
Yep, it's a part of the business. Also, that a team from the NFC West is in the Super Bowl. You have seen them twice. You get them twice every year. What are the 49ers, Aaron, as a defensive player here, do to slow down what the Chiefs have cooking?
Just keep doing what they've been doing. I think both teams been playing great football, or obviously wouldn't be where they at. So, being consistent from defense. They got good guys up front that can get after the quarterback, that can stop the run. Got some great linebackers, some good guys in the secondary, and they got an offense that's making things happen. So, on both sides of the ball, on both teams, I feel like it's a well-matched game, and it's going to be a well-fought game. So, two teams that earned the right to be there, and I'm just going to see the outcome of what happens. So,
do you want the NFC to win?
It don't matter to me. I wish I was there playing so I can win, but I really don't care who wins. I'm just going to be watching. So,
We all will. Aaron Donald, as good a defensive player as there is in our league. Aaron Donald, who was there last year, now the 49ers are there, and Aaron's there with Snickers. We appreciate your time, Aaron. Talk to you soon.
Appreciate you.
All right, it is now time for In the Hunt, presented by Hunters on Amazon Prime Video. And as someone who used to ply his trade in the world of construction, I can tell you, Marcel, that's how most folks that use a backhoe dress. Giant gold chains and designer glasses is what you see from the guys that are operating those machines that dig holes. So let's go to In the Hunt. And when we think of hunting on the football field, you think of the front, well, at least the defense, the front four, the pass rushers, and how they can affect this game with Patrick Mahomes, and what you think the defensive game plan will be for Robert Saleh.
When we're talking about the pass rushers affecting Patrick Mahomes, and when you're looking at the Kansas City Chiefs and their makeup, the San Francisco 49ers and their makeup, they're going to be able to do it with their front four. They're going to pick and choose their blitzes when they bring at least one other guy. But you're looking at D Ford, you're looking at Bosa. Those guys are dynamic, and you have it covered on the back end. They're going to have to get pressure with their front four, and then on the back end, the linebackers are going to have to help. In my opinion, I think if you work out better if you double Tyreek Hill into the field with your linebackers in the scheme of your zone, and then in the red zone, you double Travis Kelce. That'll allow them, they're going to get their yards, but it'll cut down on the touchdowns. Like you said earlier in our meeting, it's almost better if you just play to allow them to have 3 instead of allowing them to get 7.
Yeah, and in the meeting I had mentioned, it's just from experience as someone who calls the Chargers games and has since Patrick Mahomes became a starter for the Chiefs. Just look at the numbers for the Chargers and this Gus Bradley defense in the 2 games this year versus the rest of the league. And you see the pass yards per game, the touchdowns, the interceptions, and look at that passer rating. I mean, you were talking about 40 points below what he's doing against the rest of the league. And look, is it Gus Bradley? Sure, he's a brilliant defensive mind, but it's also the fact that you got Joey Bosa and Melvin Ingram on those edges.
The Chargers do a phenomenal job with Gus Bradley does amazing, especially when he's playing someone in the division. So it's a little harder for San Francisco to dial it up that way. They don't know as much as Gus Bradley. Now, if I was Saleh, I'm giving Gus a call. Right. You know, this is for one game, and you have to do what you have to do. And when you're looking at the San Francisco 49ers, they were top 5 including playoffs all year in rushing the passer and getting sacks. And when you're looking at the Kansas City, they were top 5 in not allowing sacks. So it's good on good here. These are the 2 teams that should be in the Super Bowl, and it's going to be an exciting game. This is the makeup that we want. This is what the NFL is all about, getting the best 2 games and getting a great matchup for the big game on Sunday.
Yeah, and just something you said popped in my brain here. The one thing that Andy Reid loves to do is run that 3-by-1 with the inside receiver on that over route. And you mentioned that linebacker help on Tyreek Hill, who's always on the inside, and you see him, and if you don't have a safety, they can keep up. Look out.
They're going to get that 3-on-1. They'll have Travis Kelce as a single receiver, and he'll be running across her. And listen, if you focus in on Kelce, then you have the number 3 receiver and Tyreek Hill on the other side. So
it's a nightmare.
It has the makeup of a dynamic game and a wonderful Super Bowl, and I think we're all in for a treat.
Well, let's quickly take a sneak peek here at Hunters, streaming on Amazon Prime Video on February 21st.
They are among us, and they have plans. So the time to act is now.
You put together a group of Nazi hunters. How did Nazi get into the States?
I must send a message.
I like to know who you are!
Welcome to the hunt.
They're coming to America.
Yeah, you're welcome, Miami Chamber of Commerce. For all of you folks dealing with the winter weather, this is a shot of Miami and the Bay today. As you watch Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus, we remind you that we still have quite a bit to come today throughout the rest of the week. But how about 100 Years of Greatness Now, presented by Verizon Fios?
Hey, you just play, baby. Just play.
Run whatever you need to run to get there, because they ain't going to beat us running the ball.
Okay. Hey, baby, let's go out there like a bunch of crazy dogs. Have some fun. Son, I got to do better than this. Hey, we're a bunch of bad summer let's play some ball.
This little vintage mic'd up there is 100 Years of Greatness, presented by Verizon Fios. And speaking of one of the all-time greats, Lawrence Taylor joins our MJ Acosta and Kurt Warner.
Unbelievable honor to be able to present to you MJ Acosta, Kurt Warner from Radio Row, Hall of Famer, Super Bowl champions, Lawrence Taylor in the house with us today. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you.
It's just incredible to see you sitting here literally in between. This is like unreal.
It's true. I mean, every time I'm around this guy, it's just like you think back, you remember guys growing up, the guys that you guys wanted to model their game around, but really just set the NFL in motion for me. And this guy's one of them right here. Just incredible to see you. I know you live down here, Super Bowl's down here. Just take me back to some of your Super Bowl memories. What do you remember the most about playing in the Super Bowl?
You know, the thing I remember the most about being in the Super Bowl is the season that we had. You know, it's not about the game, so to speak, because we're all working to get to the same goal. We were trying to get to that Super Bowl game. But what it took for us to get there, I mean, all the camaraderie, the excitement, the plays that we didn't blown, the plays that we got right, and when it looked like there was no way that we was going to win or get to that game, we got there anyway. And that's the most exciting part. The game is secondary. You know, we play the game, and after the Super Bowl, hell, I go to sleep.
For days, I'm sure.
I go to sleep.
And you talk about that because that is such a cool part of it, is that a lot of people just see the Super Bowl winner, but they don't understand what goes into a Super Bowl team, what happens in the locker room, the chemistry that a team has. I have to assume your Super Bowl teams had tremendous chemistry across the board.
You know, in '86 team, there was no team better. There were from the Minnesota game on, it was like a man playing with boys and stuff. And the second Super Bowl, which was, and we knew we was going to win that first Super Bowl. We knew. We was killing everybody. So, but the second Super Bowl just came out there. You know, we played well, but we didn't. You know, we had our moments and stuff like that, and we didn't have all the games at the home. We had to play on the road, and that was more gratifying because we still didn't know if we had what it took to win a championship.
That's cool.
You know, and up until, you know, till Super Bowl Sunday.
Till it happens, right? Till it happens. That's right.
Lawrence, I'd love to ask you your perspective on this as someone who recorded 132.5 sacks.
Okay.
You see the emphasis that we're showing on this San Francisco 49ers defense, that pass rush. They're getting to the QB. They're getting aggressive. What do you see that makes that defense so special?
Well, you know, I look at San Francisco, and all year, I'm saying, hey, they ain't that good. I mean, they're going to blow up. They're going to blow up. They're going to blow up. And week after week after week after week, hey, they don't blow up.
No.
And then all of a sudden, then you got to say, wow, maybe this team is for real. Now you look at even the quarterback. He's playing great. Playing great offense, but the defense is exciting. Then there's Mahomes.
Right.
Then
you gotta say it.
There's the ultimate wild card right there.
Listen. Hey, then there's Mahomes. Okay, I mean, guys, he's one of the leading rushers on the team. He's throwing the ball right hand and left hand. He don't care.
Right. It's incredible.
And the one thing I like about him was really when people ask me one thing I really like about quarterbacks or the excitement. I love a quarterback that got some excitement. Listen, get fired up, and he wants to get in there, and it makes the defense better. It makes the offense better. It makes the running backs better. It makes everybody better when the quarterback wants to get involved.
Right.
You know? Once he lets it. Not just sit back there and throw the ball and hand it off. Come on, get involved. And let me tell you something, he gets involved.
He does. Tell me, because, being a quarterback, and I watch the game, of course, I always watch from a quarterback's perspective. And I think everybody that watches the game, they watch from the quarterback perspective. But being a great linebacker, a great pass rusher, when you watch a game, how do you watch it? Are you looking at the defensive line when you're watching the game, or do you follow the football? Do you watch the quarterback? I'm just curious.
I look at contain.
Okay.
I look at contain. Well, I don't care if you get to the quarterback or not. You're putting pressure on the quarterback. That's one thing. The number two thing, are you keeping them contained?
Right.
Is you getting, you're taking a big guy and putting him in a little box, okay?
Right.
They don't do that. I mean, listen, God, what the hell?
You just gave them the keys to what they need to do right there.
It's like... I don't understand. I watch it, and he's rushing three guys, and everybody's up in, it's all piled up in the middle. This quarterback just running around every.
So what's the key? Because obviously you were a great pass rusher, and you could get to the quarterback.
Okay.
But at the same time, you're saying, okay, so I got to get there, and I got to use my different moves, but also hold contain. What's the key to being able to do both?
Put a spy. You put a spy on him.
Okay.
You put the guy sitting in the middle. Hey, as soon as the ball is snapped, he approaches the line, and then his job is to take care of
So you get the freedom to rush and just get there.
All we got to do is flush him out.
Right.
It's just like,
and then somebody's there to clean it up. Okay.
Hey, you go, I'll flush him out. You go hunt
I will
down.
flush him out. That's what
This
LT
is
says. I will flush him out. Now you got to do your part.
Oh, my goodness. So talk to us about, we were just kind of... it's pretty cool.
Admiring these things. It's pretty cool.
This is Tridelics. This
is trippy.
Hey, listen, I'm telling you what.
Here, don't cover
on
up.
a one-eighth of an inch. This company that I got involved in, a friend of mine brought it to me, and I looked at it, and I said, wow, this is amazing. It looks like it puts up, this is only 1/8 of an inch, and it looks like it's 6 inches deep.
It really does.
Can you pull out that Super Bowl one? I thought that
this is pretty cool.
That was really cool.
Very nice.
As we prepare for Super Bowl 54. Check that out. That is cool.
I mean, it looks like you're on the beach. I don't know if that comes through,
cool.
but it's really cool.
So many applications. So we're killing. Oh, well, so many
got to make sure they hear this.
Yes.
So you can take anything, any picture,
any flat surface. I can take a picture of you if I wanted to, and.
You don't want pictures of quarterbacks. I know better than that, LT.
Hey, and you put it on. We treat it. And we can make it into a 5D. This is 5D.
Okay.
This is 5D.
This is a whole nother level.
Yeah, we're
it's a whole nother level. 3D was
4D,
easy.
forget 4D.
3D was yesterday's stuff.
Get it
is
together.
Today's stuff.
I like it. It's good stuff.
This is
good stuff. How does somebody go to get this done? Do they have a website?
We have a website. Tridelics.com.
Okay,
we have
that's easy enough.
website, and we are actually we're in a. We have a lot of applications for it, and people are starting to
take off a little bit.
Take off, yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we opened about 5 weeks ago.
Wow,
right.
This is amazing. Perfect timing, too, for the Super Bowl.
Perfect for Super Bowl.
Before we let you go, any predictions for the game?
Uh-oh.
Well, you already know my prediction. I gave you I already told you Mahomes.
That's it, okay. I just wanted to make sure it was clear.
We didn't know that. All those great pass rushers on the other side.
And you know what? And I'm tell you what, I'm a turncoat. I'm a hypocrite.
I love it.
I love defense. But listen, Mahomes.
But you got to go with the quarterback.
That's it. All right.
Go with the quarterback. It's what I've always said. Even the great LT picks the quarterback. I love it, man. It's always great to see you. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
This is cool.
Enjoyed that. And certainly, Marcel, you think about one of the greatest defensive players of all time and the pass rush and it coming from the outside and the edges. But how about the challenges the challenge that is presented to a team when that pass rush is coming from the inside of that defensive line?
Well, Money, look, when you're thinking about pass rush, and similar to the offense, when you're on those guys on the outside, they're going to do their thing. They're going to get their hurries. They're going to get their rushes. But I'm looking at the guy on the inside, specifically from Kansas City, Chris Jones. He is a special defensive tackle. When you're talking about defensive tackles getting pressure, it's a difference because, listen, you cannot get away from a defensive tackle getting pressure. Similar to an Aaron Donald type of guy, when they're in the middle of the field, no matter how you move your launch pad, meaning no matter if you get out the pocket or if you're trying to move, whether it be left or right, that guy in the middle of the line is still going to be there. And especially when you can't double them because you have guys like Frank Clark on the outside, and you have to make sure you're mindful of that. So you can't necessarily get away from guys like that. So Chris Jones is going to be special. He is top 5 in all of the NFL in quarterback hits coming from defensive tackles, and that is special.
And I know, look, I hate to keep making the comparison, but it's just what I see, and I see it twice a year. Yeah. Phillip Rivers not the most mobile quarterback,
right,
and that's why the Chiefs gave him fits, and he threw 6 interceptions in 2 games. It was driven by Chris Jones. When you look at Jimmy Garoppolo and the type of quarterback he is, what do you see and what challenges specifically for him Chris Jones presents?
Well, Kyle Shanahan likes to get him in the pocket, likes to let him stand up in the pocket and do his thing. And he's good when he's able to do that. But when you're going up against a defensive tackle who can pass rush the way Chris Jones can, you're going to have to give him a ton of things to think about and look at before you're able to do that. So I think they need to be mindful of allowing Jimmy Garoppolo to be able to do that. Just stand up tall in the pocket and just look, because if he's looking, he's going to be looking right in the eyes of Chris Jones. It's not going to be pretty for him.
Right into that face mask. All right, when we return from the old guard, Lawrence Taylor, to the young buck, Miles Sanders, rookie for the Philadelphia Eagles. The aerials are just ridiculous that we're looking at. Sorry, everybody that's dealing with winter weather. Miles Sanders next on Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus. Back to Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus. You think about the close to the season for the Philadelphia Eagles, who many suspected had no chance of winning the NFC East, but behind Carson Wentz and big-time performances from rookie Miles Sanders, they were able to make their way into the postseason. And Sanders right now sits with our Kurt Warner and MJ Acosta.
MJ Acosta alongside Kurt Warner, and joining us is Eagles running back Miles Sanders. How you doing this morning?
I'm good. How you?
Ooh, nominated for Pepsi Rookie of the Year. I mean, you're in some good company too. Nick Bosa, A.J. Brown, Josh Jacobs, Kyler Murray. That's a good squad right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. They all had great seasons, man. happy for all of them and just wish them the best.
But you're happy for yourself a little more, right?
Okay,
that's what I thought.
You got to pump yourself a little bit, hype yourself a little bit. Who votes on this, and is the voting all finished? When is the winner going to be announced?
Honestly, I'm not sure. I know it's a fan vote, so
okay, it's all on the fans. So come on,
the big fans. If you like me, just vote for me, man. It'll be a blessing.
Okay, but let's break down, because you led all rookies with 1,327 scrimmage yards in the season. That's just one of the things scratching the surface. You broke Eagles' rookie record previously held by LaShawn McCoy. I mean, you had such an incredible season. Have you had a moment now that the season is over to think back on it and say, wow, like I did it, I'm in the league, and here I am?
Recently, got all this free time. Had been thinking about it, and I'm like, dang. Talking to my mom, like, I had a good season.
Casual.
Just had a real good season. I'm not a real cocky person. I try to stay humble as I can, and so I'm not real comfortable talking about myself, as y'all can see. But it was a blessing, and it was fun at the same time.
Tell me just about the transition from college to the NFL. I think we all, come and go, it's going to be not much different than college. You'll just be able to step in and pick up where I left off. And again, you had a great season. But what was the biggest transition for you going from Penn State to Philadelphia?
I say, I can't say kind of the speed of the game. Not necessarily the speed, but you playing against a lot of good players. A lot of 5+ year vets, and what allows them to play fast is that they know what you're doing, and they know what they're doing. They've been doing it for so long. So a guy that really stood out to me was Bobby Wagner.
Oh, gosh.
Man, he knows where I'm going before I go there. So it's tough to trick him out. And
he doesn't miss tackles.
Yeah, and he got some good company there, too. That defense was kind of tough. But I say that's the difference, though.
So when you first came up on stage, the first thing you mentioned to me was, he goes, I grew up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so you know what my favorite Super Bowl was. So Miles Sanders reminded me about the Super Bowl I lost to the Steelers. But here's my question. I mean, you've been in the state of Pennsylvania forever. You grow up a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, but now you play for the Philadelphia Eagles. Can you still root for Pittsburgh? Like, I grew up a Cowboys fan, and once I got to the league, now I just hated the Cowboys. It's over at that point. It's just about the team I play for. Can you still be kind of a closet Steeler fan, even though you're
I still am. I still got a little love from,
That's loyalty.
Yeah, a little bit. I think they played on a Monday night and a Thursday night a couple times, so I watched the game hoping they win. But we play them next year, so ain't no love.
Right, I was going to say, you better lock it up. You better lock it up. As you're going around through Miami, sort of soaking in the Super Bowl atmosphere, running into other players, I'm sure, what has it been like for you to now do it as an NFL player as well?
Like I said, it's all new to me. It's fun. It's exciting. Curious, anxious, all that type of stuff, man. Starstruck. I'm seeing a lot of guys that I seen as role models and watched when I was little. So it's just fun, man. I'm blessed to be here.
Was there anybody that you tried to kind of model your game around, or with somebody you watch in the NFL and you go, man, if I get there and can be like this, is there anybody that you modeled that around? And then have you met that person anywhere along the journey yet?
Definitely. I can say I haven't met him yet.
Okay, who's that? We got to make this happen.
When I was growing up, Barry's the best running back to me. So as far as now, when I'm watching guys in college and stuff, I like Alvin Kamara. I haven't met him yet, and I actually recently just met Christian McCaffrey at the airport. So,
okay. Randomly?
Yeah.
You two ran into each other at the airport?
We both lost our bags, so.
No.
But running him, and I got much respect for them, and I like the way they play the game, and they don't. I think those are two running backs that took the running back play to the next level. So I like how they play.
And is that how you see yourself then? It's kind of I'll just call it a two-way running back, a guy that can do everything out of the backfield, or getting a handoff, but also in the pass game as well. Because Alvin Kamara and Christian McCaffrey, two guys that you mentioned, they're as good as anybody in terms of pass and run game.
Yeah. That's exactly who I see myself as, and I feel like that's the best version of me, to be explosive and effective for this offense. So that's all I'm trying to be, is the best player I could be.
One of your fellow nominees here, Josh Jacobs, was telling me before that he was a little surprised that he took on to the playbook and the pace of the game so quickly when he first got into the NFL. Was it similar for you?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could say beginner training camp, rookie mini camp. My head was all over the place. I was like, man, I don't know about this. and I got Duke Staley as my coach. So
Sure.
he a great coach, man, great teacher. But I think I took on it pretty well as far as just knowing the plays, like the basic plays, not really the little stuff, but kind of learned that during the season. But yeah, I got a good feel of the playbook when I first started in training camp.
So first year in the league, Super Bowl coming up on Sunday. What are you going to be doing? I mean, is this one of those things like, now I'm in the league, let me go to the Super Bowl and see what it's all about because I want to be there one day? Or is it one of those things like, man, I ain't going to watch it until I'm playing in it? I mean,
Yeah.
what's your mindset going into this weekend?
Obviously, I really wish I could be playing in this game right now. I really do. That would be a dream come true, and I'm going to keep grinding for that. But I'm going to definitely watch it. I just don't know if I'm going to be there yet. I want to go.
Okay.
But, we'll see, though.
Yeah.
I feel like all these guys that are like, oh, maybe they're going to be at the game. Watch, I'm going to see it. Miles, thank you so much for joining us. We're so excited for you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
It was a packed show today. Tomorrow will be no different here on Super Bowl Today. You see Saquon Barkley, Von Miller, Christian McCaffrey. That's all. It's a running back day. Christian McCaffrey, Derrick Henry.
Running back some love.
There we go. And a couple quarterbacks in there. We'll have Gardner Minshew and the always entertaining Juju Smith-Schuster. Well, Marcel, maybe you'll be on our guest list as well as you hobnob around with all the fancy folks there in Miami. As for my invitation list, well, it doesn't exist. Marcel going to be at all the VIP parties and stuff. Enjoyed it today, Marcel, and we look forward to doing it again down the road.
Always a pleasure. Great set here, great team here. I love it.
We'll keep it going. We will keep it going tomorrow, but thank you for joining us today on Super Bowl Today, presented by Lexus.